Long time no see. So, been a little bit, was on vacation, and just as I was heading back from vacation, Kendrick Lamar decided to drop a new track on Instagram. Watch the Party Die, Black Air Forces, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it Watch the Party Die or Let the Party Die. And overall thoughts on this track. And the reception of this track is interesting because I feel that a lot of people have been really spoiled with the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. And I mean, obviously, probably one of the biggest moments in rap history, if we're going to be brutally honest. But people are really seeking and looking for blood and are looking for these really just blatant and outright jabs and disses all across this song. Also, maybe expecting something a little bit more kind of harsher, hard hitting. This is a lot more of a meditative, contemplative, and really murderous intent kind of track. It's not really directed at one specific person, but what I got from it is that the party that Kendrick is talking about is the death of the culture, the death of the ways that we're kind of going in right now. I can think of examples like a Fame. I know there's a certain type of bar that talks about scamming that's become really popular when you think of crypto scams, when you think of these certain things that are supposed to bring great value, end up just being a scam, but we let people get away with it. Talks about how women don't really have a lot to work with because men nowadays just play into a lot of really misogynistic or really just ugly traits that where Kendrick feels bad for said women, but like they have nothing to work with, kind of stuff like that. It's a lot more of these pieces of culture and pieces of modern society that we've constructed as popular as something that we put value in, but it's inherently destroying not just rap culture, but society in general. Another big thing that this track discusses, in my opinion, of course, is radio influencers, social media influencers. Academics is definitely an example. Maul is definitely an example. Joe Budden, you name it. A lot of these kind of social media influencers have found a way to really stake their claim into hip hop culture to where they can really sway opinion. They can bring an artist great wealth, great opportunity, and a lot of spotlight, or they can bring them a lot of unnecessary hate, unnecessary slander, and a whole bunch of different stuff. They have a lot of power in their hands, and not to mention, too, a lot of them can carry false information, and oftentimes, even if it is false or true, a lot of the times they may be able to just get away with it scot-free, only to leave with the artist or the person that they're maybe talking about to leave with all of the disaster and all of the scraps of whatever happens with whatever accusation, claims, or whatever's going on. I can think even the numbers game when it comes to amount of selling units. This artist are working out with this artist, who's working out with who's dissing who's not friends with each other. There's a lot of things that social media influencers have really caused there's a lot of power in their hands to. I think what Kendrick is trying to saying here is that they're doing a really big disservice, and it all just plays and culminates in this destruction. And what Kendrick sees in this track is we need to basically kill the party in order to create a new kind of culture, a new way of working, a new way of thinking, a new way of navigating the rap culture and even just maybe society in general. And it also talks about in the song where it's just like, where are the soldiers that really read into things, took more time into things, really put work into stuff. He kind of is taking it as perspective is just that he is the outlier of this scenario because he's not really active on social media. He's really not that active when it comes to music besides now. And he's just kind of more of an outsider to this point where everyone else is so focused on attention, focused on trying to get as many eyes on them as possible. And it's kind of Kendrick taking a step where he always has been, but he's really just looking over the culture that hip hop and music in general has built and just being really upset to the point where it seems that there's a lot of murder, there's a lot of malice in these said like bars and lines where there's a very just bitter taste in your mouth about what is going on with kind of the hip hop that he is in, the kind of culture that he is in, and taking a step back and realizing is that we need to basically destroy everything to build from the ground up once again. Now, the beat's fantastic. It really reminds me of Meet the Grams mixed with the Heart Part 4. Now, the Heart Part 4 is one of my favorite Kendrick tracks, period. Now, this also coincides with just the recent Super Bowl announcement, and I think a lot of it has to do as well as that, of course, a lot of people are talking about how Lil Wayne should have got it. Maybe Nicki Minaj should have been a part of it as well. There's a lot of big firestorm going on with that. I honestly don't really see the big problem. Like, as much as I really like Lil Wayne, I don't know how many stadium-ready tracks that Lil Wayne has. I think Kendrick, obviously, with the hype that he's built, it just kind of makes sense. But I think this is also too, is just like a lot of people are asking, just like, why not this person? Why not this artist? Why not this artist? And Kendrick basically put out this track just to basically just calm everybody down and also just had something to say. It also reminds me too that this really feels like, again, like a Heart series kind of track. So I don't know if this will lead to an album. I'm assuming that we're definitely getting an album soon, at least, especially with the Super Bowl coming up. I guess I don't even know when it is. I'm not really into football that much, but there has to be an album in between. So my thoughts on the track: I think the track is fantastic. I didn't really enjoy it at first. I expected something a little bit more, honestly, a little bit more kind of explosive, kind of more just going at somebody. But the more you listen to it, the more that you really start to take in all the lyrics and this really beautiful and calm and serene and soothing beat. It's just a really great contemplative, almost like a deep cut off of a rap project, where it may not hit you hard at first, but once you keep going back to the album upon repeat listens, the deep cuts of the album really start to become your favorites. And it's starting to become that with me. It's not my favorite out of all the songs that Kendrick has released this year, but it is probably the one that generates a lot of discussion around a general kind of topic, not just specific kind of thing. So that's my thoughts on Watch the Party Die. What are your thoughts on the song? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Does this lead up to an album? Does it not? Leave your comments down below. I'm going to be recording a lot of videos tonight, so be on the lookout for a lot of videos throughout the days. And thank you for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.